What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another day, another dollar, and another video. We're going to be breaking it down today. We're going to be trying to go through it rather quickly, as today was a bit uneventful on my part as far as trading went. A lot of volatility, a lot of range. The market is still open right now, closing in about 5 minutes. Just figured I'd go ahead and get a head start on the video. Not a whole lot to discuss in the sense of where we went. We kind of went nowhere with all the movement that we had. There were some pretty good opportunities as far as volatility early on, but when the market's going crazy and the algorithms are going absolutely haywire, like they did in the first hour and a half of the day, or just kind of establishing the initial balance and taking out both sides of the overnight session, the high and the low of the overnight session, pushing up, filling the first set of single prints, and then backing off only to take out the day's low, and then hit that 372 target and that 367.25 target on the downside. Didn't have much interest to me. There was a good opportunity to take a short later in the evening. I wasn't feeling it. Nothing here was visible for me as far as the trade goes, and as well as I'm just kind of on the back end of being absolutely tired. So let's discuss what happened. So in yesterday's video, I was talking about how sellers, if we were going to be if the sellers were serious and strong, we wanted to open up below the price probe at 44.01. Right, we wanted to open above 40 or below 44.01.25, not above it. We wanted to find acceptance below the 4400 level, and then go and hit these downside targets, and then ultimately potentially get down to that 4350 level, which is what we have as our balance low. So far, we have yet to go and test that level. We pushed down pretty good today. We got to 4365.25 as the day's low. Had we gone down, 15 more handles, we would have gotten that low. But instead, after the wild ride that we had in the second time frame, or B period, and then going trend down, after pushing up, filling those sets of single prints, getting into that second set, backing off really aggressively, just all that movement, and then to go trend down, hit those destinations, and then not get any extension in D period to the downside, to come up and then grind and fill in those single prints, and then basically close back inside of the lower distribution from yesterday. Was a bit uneventful, to say the least. Sellers didn't do anything. I believe most of this movement back to the upside was nothing but short covering. So we'll see where we lie at come Monday. If we take out today's high, we will fill this set of single prints and then grind our way. We'll fill the second set of single prints here. We got a third set up here, and then we'll grind our way into the upper distribution from yesterday. If we cannot take out today's high, which is at 44.29, if we cannot take out 44.29, we will look to rotate down and take out today's low. So, just keep that in mind. I don't really have a whole lot for you guys as far as analysis on the day. Days like this are tough for me to kind of break down, as it was just kind of back and forth action with no real dedication or movement to one side. So we basically just go out today with today's high and today's low. The only real good trades I think would have been, the short here late today against 2750. I think that might have been the only good short opportunity, as it did roll over and hit 44.10. So with that, you could have looked to maybe rotate back down to pocket, but we have yet to do that. We got 2 minutes left until the market closes. So looks like we might have had an afternoon pullback low at 43.89, but I don't think that's going to be much of a reference point, as there's really not a whole lot in between. We do have an 8Y point of control, but nothing I'm going to mark or label of any significance. So let's mark today's high real quick, and then we'll go over our weekly and our daily time frame. And hold on, so we'll go over our monthly, weekly, and daily time frames for the ES, and kind of give you guys an update on that, and then get you guys on your way, as I don't want to keep you too long. So this will be our hive day here at, what didn't that say? 29. Market's about to close. Basically inside the lower distribution from yesterday. So not a whole lot action today. Two-sided trade. We have today's low of day at 65.25. I can type alrighty. There you go. So there you have it, folks. That is the close, closing back inside of the previous day's range after all that movement and minutia and BS that we had with the Jerome Powell at Jackson Hole, basically saying that they're going to potentially raise rates again. Nothing we should be surprised about. It essentially caused a pretty good liquidation early on in the day, only for all those short-term traders that were pushing this market down and momentum pushing this market down to get bought back up and grind back higher towards the highs of the day and close back inside of the previous day's range proves nothing. We do still remain in balance, so our balance area still remains. If I were to go here, our balance area still remains. Still balance high 68.75, balance low 43.50, just chopping around inside of this range. Expect to do continue to do this until we take out either 68.75 or 43.50. If we take out today's high today, we should rotate up and go and test the upper distribution in the balance high. If we take out today's low, we should test 43.50 and our balance low and look to get below it. If not, then just continue to expect a bunch of chop in between this range here from 44.60 to 43.50. Just kind of expect a whole lot of chop in this 100-point range. All right, let's go ahead and look at our larger time frames. We're not going to review the NASDAQ today. Basically the same situation. Whole lot of movement to get absolutely nowhere. So let's look at our monthly. As we're rounding out the end of the month, if we do not push it down any further, our monthly is in a balance. But if we do not push down any further, we're just going to say it's a 2-month balance and will not encompass the month of June. If we do, however, manage to make lower lows on our weekly time frame and our daily time frames and get further into June's range, then we'll say it's a 3-month balance. But for now, we're going to say it's a 2-month balance. And going forward, by the end of next week, we should have a pretty good idea of how large this balance zone is going to be. Remember a couple videos ago, I was talking about how I wanted to see basically a retest, putting the monthly back into a balance and holding above the 43.27 level, having a little bit of consolidation on our monthly, and then exploding up to the upside to go and get that all-time high of 48.08. So basically I wanted to see acceptance of price up here within the 43 to 4600 range, and then go and explode to get that upper end of the range there. Let's go ahead and look at our weekly. So monthly's balance. Weekly, still technically one time frame and down, even though this week it was an inside week. Now you can say that this is a what am I talking about here? Lost my train of thought. Oh, you could say that this market has gone from down to balance, and potentially say that we're in a 2-week balance, basically using all of last week's range as the balance area. There's nothing wrong with that. However, this market is still technically down. So if we take out this week's low, we should go and get 43.50 balance low and last week's low and continue to one time frame down until we fill in that premium gap at 43.25.50. All right, and then we do have some support area within this 4200 level, which just so happens to be, if I'm not mistaken, right around a gap fill area. So weekly, still one time framing down, gone from down to balance. Let's see how we close out the end of next week and the end of the month, and what we do with this inside week. Do we come out of the inside week to the downside? Do we come out of the inside week to the upside and get some really good movement? So weekly, still one time framing down, monthly's balance. Now let's look at our daily time frame. Daily, still in balance, right? Closing below the 50 and the 20-day moving average for the last several days, but have not gotten anywhere, right? Balance high is 44.6825, like I was discussing earlier. Balance low, 43.50. If we take out today's low, we should go test that 43.50 level. If we take out today's high, we should go test 44.6825. Volume really good over the last 2 days, above average, which is what you want to see. But I'm just hoping that maybe we do get some more downside movement to the downside. As you know, I think it's healthy for the market to pull back prior to going and seeing all-time highs. And I do believe sometime within the next 6 months, we could go and visit that all-time high. I just don't know exactly when. I think we see the 200-day moving average prior to this year's high and the all-time high. So with all that being said, continue to wear your hard hats. We got a lot of chop inside this range, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. See you.